All right, let's dive into this. You sent over some fascinating articles on Himachali music, and I gotta say, I'm ready to learn. My knowledge is a bit limited in this area, but I have a hunch we're about to uncover something really special.
Yeah, it's definitely a region with a lot to offer musically. And you're right, most folks aren't super familiar with the specifics, but chances are they've heard its influence without even realizing it.
Ooh, that's intriguing. Okay, so before we get lost in the music itself, let's get oriented. We're talking about Himachal Pradesh, right? Northwest India, nestled in the Himalayas.
That's the spot. Picture towering peaks, lush valleys, the kind of setting that just begs to be expressed through music.
Talk about inspiration, but okay, how does that actually translate into the music itself?
Well, that's what makes Himachali music so fascinating. It's not a single genre, but a whole tapestry of traditions. Each one is shaped by the unique landscape and culture of the region.
So each valley kind of has its own soundtrack.
Exactly. Like think about the Spiti Valley, high altitude desert, starkly beautiful, with a strong Tibetan Buddhist influence. The music there reflects that isolation and spirituality. You'll hear lots of chanting, often accompanied by the deep drone of the Dungchen trumpet.
Dungeon. Wow, even the name sounds powerful.
Yeah, it's massive. This telescopic trumpet, sometimes over 15 feet long, made from wood and brass. Its sound is as vast and echoing as the valley itself. Imagine monks chanting, voices blending with the Dungchen's low drone. Almost otherworldly.
Okay, I'm getting chills just picturing it. And the articles mention these chants are incredibly slow, right? Something like 30 to 60 beats per minute. Isn't that even slower than a resting heartbeat?
Yep, incredibly slow and deliberate. It creates a deeply meditative mood, and that tempo, that sense of spaciousness, reflects the Buddhist philosophy of finding peace and stillness amidst the grandeur of nature.
Wow, that's powerful. Okay, now I'm really curious how this contrasts with other regions. What about, say, the Kulu Valley? I read about something called Nadi music there, which sounds super lively.
Ah, Nadi. Totally different vibe. Think vibrant communal celebrations, everyone moving together, and the driving beat of the dole drum keeping that energy high. Much faster tempo, something like 80 to 120 beats per minute, perfect for dancing.
So while Speedy is introspection and stillness, Kulu is movement and community.
Precisely. And even the instruments used in Nadi reflect that energy, like the Narsinga trumpet, this long, curved trumpet, often made of silver or brass, with a bright, piercing sound.
Didn't I read that it's not just musical, but plays a role in ceremonies, too?
You got it. It's believed to announce the presence of the deities, like a call to the divine, adding a spiritual layer to the joyous atmosphere of Nadi.
Fascinating. So even within one district like Kulu, we're seeing these distinct musical styles. What about like the Parvati Valley? I read that the music there has a different feel to it.
Sharp observation. The Parvati Valley, while still part of Kulu district, is known for slower, more storytelling-based music. A bit more intimate and reflective compared to the high energy of Nadi.
So we're really seeing how landscape and local culture shape the music. It's like a sonic map of the region.
Exactly. Each valley, each community, adds its own unique thread to the tapestry of Himachali music. And speaking of unique, remember those instrument names you mentioned earlier? The Bugjal and Kinara.
Yeah, they sound like something out of a fantasy novel. What makes them so special?
Well, the Bugjal, for instance, is a wind instrument mainly found in the Kinnar district. What's fascinating is that its tone, this hauntingly beautiful sound, it's almost impossible to replicate elsewhere.
Really? Is it how it's played or the instrument itself?
It's both, actually. It's crafted from a specific wood found only in that region, and the playing technique is unique to the local musicians. The Bugjal's sound is said to evoke the very spirit of the Kinnar Mountains, the rugged beauty and ancient mystique.
Amazing. So connected to the environment. And what about the King Nara? That one's from the Kangaroo Valley, right?
Yes. The King Nara is a string instrument, kind of similar to a sitar, but smaller and with a softer sound. It's known for this delicate, almost ethereal sound, which adds a touch of magic to the Kangaroo Valley's musical traditions.
It's incredible how these instruments seem to embody the spirit of their regions. You can almost hear the landscape in their sounds.
Exactly. And that's what makes exploring Himachali music so captivating. It's like a sonic journey through the Himalayas, each valley offering a unique and captivating soundscape.
I'm hooked already. But we've only scratched the surface, haven't we?
Oh, absolutely. There's so much more to discover. But for now, let's just let this incredible diversity sink in for a moment.
Good idea. So what are the key takeaways you want our listener to walk away with from this first part of our deep dive?
Remember, Himachali music isn't a monolith. It's a vibrant tapestry, woven from the threads of all these different valleys and districts. We've heard how the stark beauty of Spiti inspires meditative chants, while the lively spirit of Kulu finds expression in the communal dances of Nadi. And we've just begun to explore those unique instruments, like the bugjal and kingnara, that add their own voices to this sonic landscape.
It's amazing to think about how each region has its own sonic fingerprint, its own way of expressing its identity through music.
Exactly, and that's just the beginning of our journey. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore how Himachali music connects to its neighboring regions, revealing even more layers of this fascinating tradition.
I can't wait. Join us next time as we continue to unravel the mysteries and beauty of Himachali music. Welcome back to our deep dive into Himachali music. Last time we got a taste of how the landscape and culture shape those incredibly diverse sounds.
And those unique instruments too, like the bugjal from Kinnar, with its sound that seems to echo the mountains themselves.
Right, and the kingnara from Kangra, like a delicate cousin of the sitar. I'm realizing these aren't just instruments, they're like vessels of cultural memory, you know?
You've hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah.
Generations of craftsmanship and tradition, a deep connection to the land. But sadly, as we touched on before, a lot of these traditions are facing some tough times.
That's what I wanted to dig into a bit more. The articles mentioned that some instruments and styles are becoming endangered. What's contributing to that?
Well, one big factor is the influence of mainstream media and globalized music. It's not just Himachal, it's happening worldwide. Younger generations are exposed to so much more music now, and sometimes those newer genres overshadow the traditional forms.
So it's like a balancing act between embracing the new and preserving the old. But it seems like more than just changing tastes are at play. I read something about a lack of support for traditional musicians, too.
Exactly. Many traditional musicians rely on patronage from local communities, which can be unpredictable. And with fewer young people learning these traditions, it becomes a cycle that's hard to break.
It makes me wonder, are there any efforts to help preserve these musical traditions?
Absolutely. There are some amazing individuals and organizations dedicated to documenting and archiving existing musical practices. Imagine traveling to remote villages, recording the songs and stories of elder musicians, capturing techniques that have been passed down orally for generations.
That's so important, creating a living archive.
Exactly. And beyond archiving, there are efforts to create platforms for these musicians to share their music with wider audiences. Festivals, workshops, even collaborations with modern artists. All these help raise awareness and appreciation.
Those collaborations sound really powerful, introducing new audiences to the sounds and showing younger generations that their heritage is something to be proud of.
Precisely. Bridging the gap between generations, showing that tradition and modernity can coexist, even enrich each other. Imagine a young musician, raised on pop music, discovering the beauty of the kingnara, learning from a master, maybe even incorporating those sounds into their own music.
I love that. But I imagine there are challenges in bridging that gap too, right?
Of course. Change takes time, and there can be resistance. Some traditionalists might be wary of blending the old and new, but I think there's a growing recognition that preservation can't happen in isolation. It needs openness to new ideas and ways of sharing these traditions.
It sounds like there's a real sense of urgency behind these efforts.
There is, and that brings us back to something we talked about earlier, awareness. You can't protect what you don't value. The more people understand the uniqueness and significance of Himachali music, the more likely we are to find ways to support it.
So it's not just about listening to the music, it's about understanding its context, its history, its connection to the people and the land.
Exactly. And that's what we're trying to do in this deep dive. We've explored the geographical diversity, those unique instruments. Now we're starting to uncover the deeper cultural and social significance of Himachali music. But there's one more crucial layer we need to explore.
I'm ready. What's next on our sonic adventure?
Well, remember how we talked about the Narsinga trumpet being used to announce the presence of deities in Kulu? That hints at a whole other dimension, the spiritual significance of Himachali music.
Now that's something I'm really curious to explore, to go beyond the notes and rhythms and uncover those deeper meanings.
That's the perfect attitude to have. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll journey into the heart of Himachali music, discovering its connection to spirituality, ritual, and the very soul of the Himalayas.
I'm excited for this. Join us next time as we continue to unravel the mysteries and beauty of Himachali music. Welcome back. We've covered so much ground in our exploration of Himachali music, from those incredible landscapes to the challenges these unique traditions are facing.
It's been a journey, And now we get to the heart of it all, the cultural and spiritual side of this music, which is really captivating.
This is what I've been most curious about. Beyond just the notes and rhythms, what are the deeper meanings woven into this tradition?
Well, remember how we talked about that connection to the land? It's key. It's not just a setting, it's like a living presence in the music. Like the Gadi shepherds of the Chamba region.
Oh yeah, they live a nomadic life way up in the mountains, right?
Exactly. And their music reflects that. The bleating of their sheep, the wind through those mountain passes.
Yeah.
It's like they're in conversation with the landscape itself.
Wow, I can almost hear those melodies echoing through the mountains. Must be powerful to experience that firsthand.
It really is. And that a deep connection to nature, it often intertwines with spiritual beliefs too. Think back to the Spiti Valley with its Buddhist chants and the Dungchen.
Right, those slow, meditative chants. We talked about how they evoke a sense of stillness, but there's more to it than just a feeling, right?
There is. For the people of Spiti, those chants aren't just music. They're a way to connect with something bigger than themselves, to find peace in the vastness of the Himalayas.
Like the music becomes a bridge between the earthly and the divine.
Exactly. And that spiritual aspect isn't just in Buddhist traditions. Throughout Himachal, music is vital in rituals and festivals across different faiths. Remember the Narsinga trumpet in Kulu?
Yes. Used to announce the presence of deities during festivals.
Right. It's not just a musical flourish, it's a sacred act, inviting those divine energies into the celebration. Adds a whole other layer of meaning.
It's amazing how much meaning and power something like a trumpet can hold.
It really is. And beyond the spiritual side, there's a strong social dimension too, like the Nadi dances.
Oh yeah, those energetic communal dances that bring everyone together.
Exactly. Nadi is about so much more than just entertainment. It's connection, bonding as a community, celebrating life's joys together. It strengthens those social ties.
And even those Jori songs, those romantic ballads, they probably play a role in social connections too.
You're right, they're often used to express emotions that might be hard to say directly. Love, longing, sorrow. They create a safe space for those feelings, especially in a culture where maybe those things aren't talked about openly.
So whether it's celebrating the land, connecting with the divine, or those social bonds, Himachali music seems to be woven into the very fabric of life there.
Beautifully put. It's not background noise, it's part of their culture, identity, their way of being.
This deep dive has been amazing. It's one thing to just hear about a musical tradition, but to really understand it like this, its connections to the land and the people. That's special.
That's the power of digging deeper, right? Going beyond the surface and finding those hidden layers of meaning.
Before we wrap up, what's one final thought you'd like to leave our listener with? Something you hope they take away from all this?
Think about this. How can we, as listeners, move beyond just appreciating the beauty of this music and actually become part of preserving it?
That's a great question. It's easy to just enjoy the sounds, but you're right, there's a responsibility there.
Exactly. Seek out Himachali artists, go to their performances, support their work, learn more about the instruments, the stories behind the songs. Even small actions can make a difference.
It's like you said earlier, we can't protect what we don't value. And valuing something means more than just enjoying it. It means actively supporting its future.
Well said. It's been a pleasure exploring this with you. I hope our listener feels inspired to keep learning about this incredible world of Himachali music.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've enjoyed exploring this unique corner of the musical world. Go forth, keep listening, and keep learning.